it's girthy, you know? It looks familiar. And
How do you, I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
and you hold them down and you force the girthy truth inside of them.
Get out of here.
You are a bunch of pussies with little dicks.
Oh my God. Oh, where did you find her? Where did you find her, Brian?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to Drippin, the podcast where we take a sneak peek into society and report back to you. So today, we're going to talk about the truth. Now, the truth has got two separate universities to graduate from. One university says,
"You can't handle the truth,"
while the other says,
"The truth shall set you free."
Rest assured you're in good hands here because I graduated from them both. I can see the benefits and downfalls from both schools. So today we're going to be reacting to the Whatever podcast, and I've chosen specific clips to look at and to react to that illustrate to you the effect of introducing people to the truth. Now let me tell you something about the truth. The truth, it's hot, it's heavy, it's thick, it's girthy, you know? It looks familiar. Anyway, yeah. So I want to show you what happens when you take somebody and you hold them down and you force the girthy truth inside of them. They have a number of different reactions. We're going to talk about how it's beneficial to force said girthy truth inside of people. And then we're going to evaluate whether these people are actually learning a lesson, if they're going to go on to be better people, or whether they're just going to go into their nice little deluded make-believe reality that they've created and come out and do it again. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into the podcast. Okay, so we've spoke about victim culture on this channel, and we spoke about how it seems to be the preferred condition these days. So you have a lot of people painting, changing, insinuating, and outright telling you that they're victims. Fortunately, there tends to be just enough testosterone left in society that's just about enough to prohibit most men from claiming this most prestigious title. So that leaves the other gender to monopolise on the unclaimed real estate of the plains and continents and the world of victimhood, women. So for our first clip, we have a young girl, a lovely young little creature. That's our first unsuspecting victim of the girthy truth.
So let's see. We got Bianca. Bianca, you said the time I was love bombed by a narcissist. What's the story there?
Oh, yeah. So, I met this guy online, right? And, we met up, we had a date and whatnot, and it went good. So, we just, every weekend he would come over. It was like a 2-hour drive, so he would come over, pick me up, and like we would, go on dates, I guess, like cute dates or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was very delusional after the second date, and
Sorry.
I started to get like really attached by like what he would say and do. And so just weeks kept passing by, 2 months, and I started to notice like little things that he would do, but like I said, I was like just kind of love bomb and kind of didn't say anything, like little red flags that he would do. And so it didn't end up good.
Oh my God, that was the vaguest story ever. Okay. I will.
Was he a diagnosed narcissist, or did you diagnose him as a narcissist?
I guess I did, just because like I don't know, he would
Gaslight you?
No. It's already difficult enough getting an answer out of her. Just don't interrupt. Let her answer, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he would like do
You know, I actually feel sorry for this girl, you know, for she knows not where thine art. Here's a quick tip for you. You know, if you look at a person and that person doesn't know that you're looking at them, there's no situation, it's just a moment of absent-mindedness. Look at their facial expression, their natural facial expression. It'll tell you a lot about that person's personality. Now, with this girl, I see no malice at all. Yet she's distorted her story and tried to label this guy as a narcissist. And she's obviously been through some kind of feminist training. But did you notice that when the old feminist volunteered another buzzword, gaslight, she didn't accept it? Why? Because she's not that far gone. This girl can be saved. This girl has the potential to be one of the chosen. But most times it's not enough just to be questioned. Sometimes it's not enough to be humbled. It has to devastate you, to smite you hip and mind. It has to destroy you utterly, leave no trace of delusion or corruption. Sometimes you have to be held down and introduced to the girthy truth.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just looking for what is the narcissistic type of behavior that you would see that led you to diagnose him as a narcissist?
Like, let's say I was going to the gym and like he would like, I would wear something and he'd be like, oh, like that's, you know, it's like a crop top, like, yo, don't wear that. Or like saying like, oh, post this or else like you don't love me, you know, like type. I don't know. Yeah,
He
did like I
verbatim said that.
like oh, like not love me, but like say like, oh, like why aren't you like posting this, like, you know, like
Whoa,
I took a picture.
This is, I mean, Andrew, I'll let you continue in just a sec here. But did everybody at the table and did the chat notice what she just did? So you said he said something.
Yes.
And then when I pressed you, you said he actually didn't say that.
Wait.
He said something completely different.
Wait, I'm getting confused.
You said, if you don't post this, you don't love me.
Like not love me, but like oh, like no affection towards me. Like you're not showing any affection, like, you know, in that way.
But there's a big difference between, at least I think, between a man saying, if you don't do this, it's proof that you don't love me, and a man saying, if you don't do this, this is perhaps an example of you not caring. I think that's a big difference.
There we go.
I think we need to be very precise in our language here, because I don't think it's fair to if you're explaining a situation about how somebody has allegedly wronged you, to lie about what they said. But go on, continue.
It got her. She can't take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew was asking what he did that was narcissistic.
Grammarly isn't just a spell check or grammar check. It's an AI writing partner that helps students and individuals like me from the beginning to the end. And Grammarly helps me.
Do this. I'm sorry. I'm pretty bad at this.
You see, now that lovely little creature has just had a realization. I think it's done her the world of good. If you allow people to live in their delusions, they only get worse. They have to be challenged, dragged, kicking and screaming into the light. Trauma can be quite therapeutic at times. The next time she wants to use a word like narcissistic or gaslight, she'll remember the girthy truth. The next time she wants to paint an image of her being victimized, she'll have flashing images of the girthy truth. Did you notice the way that she looked to the girl to her right, with arms barely able to whisper, fully extended? Please, please, oh God, please, I can't take it. And the girl just merely looked on with ruthless abandon. She now knows that the sisterhood isn't real. She now knows that when feminists try to colour her language and drag her down to the ninth circle of hell in which they exist, not to go, for therein lies the girthy truth. Moving on. Okay, so next we have a young girl that comes on the show as a self-professed feminist, with all the usual taglines and opinions. Now, delusion is not the truth. It's a lie. Feminism is a lie. Colour it however you want, but it's a movement to destroy the nuclear family and to disadvantage, if not outright oppress, men. It's satanic. Everything that men do is for women. Everything that men built is for women, to protect and to provide for them. It's just so ungrateful that a person can use all the amenities built and supplied by men to put men down. But there's a handful, comparatively, that know down deep inside the truth about the meaning of feminism. There's a handful of women that know just beyond the blue skyline with fluffy clouds are hexagon-shaped projectors beaming a false reality for women to live in. They know it's there, but they have the innate ability to just swallow hard and look down. But what if something holds their face up and makes them stare past the projectors? What if something challenges their worldview and peels back their beliefs, exposing its core? Let's see what happens.
Darian Murphy, do you want to read this one, Rachel? I think it's directed to you.
Yeah.
No, like out loud.
Oh. Here we go. First girl, serious advice. You need to stop making decisions and choices. Find a man in your family who is sensible and who really cares about you. And just take their advice seriously. Also, abandon feminism. It's truly poison. Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic. I don't necessarily need a man to tell me. I also have females who can support me. I feel like women and men can both provide that.
Wait,
So
what is misogynistic about his statement here?
Well, I don't know why it has to be a man. Why does it have to be a man? I think the problem
Why is that? I'm not sure why that's misogynistic, but
Why is that
that.
misogynistic?
I mean, like, never
what do you
lots of
how do you
hands.
define misogyny?
There's a lot of answers up there, Brian.
Yeah.
No, how do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
What? How do you? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny? Is that the?
No.
I wanted to make sure that we were like talking about, because in a debate, it's very important that both people are talking about the same thing, and both people have things defined.
Well, I'm not going to answer how I'm using this in the context because I have signed a waiver.
Wait, what?
Never mind. I don't.
Do you want to just take a little breather? Or you could just stay at the table. I mean,
No, I'd like to go home if that's
'Cause-
allowed.
because I asked about how you define misogyny. That was the precipitating thing. I've said some way more.
Short circuit.
I don't know. He's asking me to abandon feminism. It's like,
do you even know what feminism is? It's like,
What?
hey, I was never the one that's been like sitting here wanting a man to be a man.
Wait,
Just-
what? Well, let's
I
talk.
just
Let's
like
try
to
to
go
talk.
home.
Well, let's try to talk it through. Let's try to get to the bottom of this, because it seems like it's a position you're really strong on, and we'd like to hear your stance.
Jeez. She's-
Nick.
Wow.
So let me try to maybe parse what he was saying. So Darian Murphy, he was saying abandon feminism. You object to that, which is fine. You also objected to him saying find a man. You can certainly find like a strong woman in your family to guide you
He
too.
actually said in your family, as in someone
The
we
reality
trust.
is like, it doesn't matter about other people. Like, the only person that can fix you is yourself.
Yeah. But you can always go to like a parental figure.
Also, you're already talking about like pornography and like no man is gonna marry like, yes, there are men that will marry women that do pornography, but you were also talking about how there's a lot of men that are judgmental of that and like things being potentially online forever.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the truth.
this is like literally no different for me. Like, for me, it's like anyone can look this up. I thought this was gonna be like some little student podcast that like maybe 5 people listen to. I have no idea.
But okay, so are you just on the adult content thing?
No
Are
accountability.
do you object to men having a preference for not dating women who have been engaged in that kind of adult content?
No, I think it's really ridiculous that guys are. Also, I've had a lot of guys sit there and complain about how they're jealous that women can actually go into that profession because a lot of males do not feel like they have a platform in that business. And I do think it's an industry. I do think it's a business. I respect it. It's good. It's dandy. Can I please go home?
If you, look, if you want to leave, you can leave. I was hoping we could continue having a conversation, but
Let her go.
okay. I mean,
You know what? I actually felt so sorry for this girl. And she's a victim of abuse by feminism. And the way she put her hand on her chest when she was crying, God, I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see that again. But I'll tell you what, the GIRTHY truth, it doesn't pull punches, it doesn't apologise, and it doesn't take prisoners. I mean, this kind of devastation that the GIRTHY truth brings, woo! I mean, don't get me wrong. She's not exactly conducting her life in the most traditional sense, but I just see so much potential in her. Is it possible that she could change? Yes, it's possible. I mean, with what she said afterwards shows me that she's aware of the consequences. I think, however sorrowful her reaction was, it was good for her. It was good for her development. And it showed her that she's living in a delusion. Will she change? In all probability, no. I fear this lovely little creature came 10 years too early because I believe that toxic femininity, its days are numbered. I think that the GIRTHY truth is doing a number on both men and women these days, full of blatant disrespect, the biting of the hand that feeds. The lonely people epidemic is going to afford some serious social change. I think in times, laws will be introduced to level the playing field, if you will, such as punishing paternity fraud, hiring the best person for the job, mandatory paternity tests at birth. Now, all of these things will take the evil out of feminism and return it to what true feminism should be, an equality between the sexes, mutual respect, and in turn, humble women over time, so that they become more agreeable again, more loving again, more exciting again, more beautiful again. Okay, so here we have another self-professed, strong, independent woman that don't need no man. Her argument is that men created sex work and forced women into it, monopolizing on tasty flesh. She attributes no blame whatsoever or accountability to the women in the profession, which includes OnlyFans workers. And she goes on to say that men are more privileged than women, but can't substantiate the arguments, especially after giving facts and information on the infamous draft.
Like at least five times more likely to be trafficked. We are literally still, on a global scale, still victimized by the patriarchy. That hence, like, as trafficking rings and things of that nature. Sex work, we could say that, yeah, sex work. Sex work, I'm thoroughly convinced, was established by men because men are policing it to this day.
What's wrong with her mouth? And she can't talk.
So women have no agency?
Women.
They do, thank God. I think that's why women nowadays feel empowered by OnlyFans, as they've stated, because it's them being able to, like, control themselves and navigate their own bodies. And
This is faulty weird. Well, okay, so women feel empowered by OnlyFans sex work that they put themselves into, yet it's men that force women into sex work.
The evil patriarchy institutes sex work, and the women with
patriarchy has
participate in the sex work. This is a genius argument.
I think you can't hate sex workers when men are constantly abusing sex workers.
Why would, let's assume for a second that, I don't know, the SA rates were 1,000 times between the sexes. How would that prove that men are privileged in society over women?
1,000 times,
Yeah, that women are 1,000 times more likely to be married than men. Yeah.
How
would that prove that men are privileged in society over women? It would just show that women are disadvantaged.
Yeah, that's
biologically in a sense.
But that's my point. He said women are privileged. I'm saying they're not.
Let me finish my point before you respond. You're not even listening. You can't wait to talk, so you don't listen. Relax.
Your point contradicts what was just said.
My point doesn't contradict it. That's why you need to listen. Even if it were true that it was women were 1,000 times more likely to be SA'd than men, how would that prove that men in society were privileged over women?
I did not say men are privileged over women. I said women are not privileged over men, which is what he stated in the first place, and has stated on several occasions.
Yeah, but he said he was giving a statement for the draft that it's a privilege that women are not drafted. That is the case, correct?
Why did you do this?
No, that's not the only thing he said. He said in general he feels he would argue that women are privileged.
One thing at a time. Women start with the draft. Are women privileged by not having to do the draft?
I don't believe so.
Okay, then
what the hell is she? Sorry.
What would you call it that only one sex has to do an activity for conscription where they go put their life on the line and may potentially lose it, versus the other sex not having to do that? What would you call that besides?
I'd call it a choice tragically made by that sex, as proven.
Men don't choose.
That sex did not collectively make that choice.
Straw Man Fallacy donated $100. She stands her argument on men being more likely to be sociopaths, then follows up with "I'm sorry you feel that way." Quintessential gaslighting from someone with zero self-awareness. Matriarchy?
Perfect.
You said it's a choice? It's not a choice to be drafted. That's
no, I didn't say it's a choice.
You literally, the word
no,
choice.
I said men as a whole, like the men who represented men chose that.
Yeah, okay.
From a Congress that was all men at the time.
Okay, so I'm thinking that it's some kind of a choice because she's able to discern the difference between man and men, but for some strange reason, she can't discern the difference between woman and women.
Okay, so yes.
Is anybody who's alive right this second, any man who's alive right this second have a choice in whether or not they're drafted?
Yeah, the ones in Congress.
The men who are conscripted, do they have a choice of being conscripted or not?
You're not there's no draft right now. Who knows?
That's not my question.
They might not
If there
ever
was a
enforce-
draft.
See, this is an argument that I'm hearing men and talk about on the internet and women. When you look at a lot of women's thoughts and strategies, it involves pretty much here and now, whereas men seem to think more in the future. They plan for the next day and everything else. She says we're not in a draft now. This just goes to show how ridiculously unaware she is. I mean, obviously, evidently, she doesn't have any self-awareness, but is she not aware that we are literally on the brink of World War III? The Russian-Ukrainian conflict, the Israeli and Hamas and the Gaza stuff that's going on over there. I mean, NATO is supplying weapons to the Ukraine. Russia don't like it. Do you know who else is on the Russian side? This can easily tip into World War III, where a whole bunch of us get drafted, but not you.
Right now, would men... If there was a draft right now, would the men who got drafted have a choice in being drafted or not?
We just danced.
Okay, so another thing that they do, when they're asked a question, when their logic is explored, and from their own mouths and their own logic, they would shoot themselves in the foot. They decide to shut down, change the subject, become aggressive, or leave.
Way back from where we were at in this conversation.
Yeah, can you answer my question now?
I already did.
Yeah, can you answer it
multiple
again?
times?
Can the men? Can
we
the men
just
who are
danced all the way
conscripted,
back to the draft from way into past policing. We were on a whole new layer, and now we're all the way back to me reiterating the same.
I love
shit.
watching the other girls'
So we'll get back
reactions
to that,
when
the
someone is
conscription portion.
ridiculous.
You can talk to yourself.
So you just
Because I'm
won't
not going to
answer the
repeat
question?
myself. No,
Yeah, just not
I'm
gonna answer
not
the question.
dancing back to the same shit we just talked about. You can literally talk to yourself
She's
about
trying
shit if you
to.
still
She's
don't
trying
agree
to
with me
evade.
on it.
You're trying to evade.
Yeah, you're
So-
being.
No,
you're
we
doing
just
everything
talked about.
possible
So, I mean,
let's
how about-
to answer the
let's
question.
push forward to
No, no,
where
no,
we
no.
no, because
Where
we're
the hell
not.
are
Hold
you?
on. Stop. You're not going to dictate the terms and the flow of the
But like
conversation.
I said, then he can talk to himself. Like I already
Then
answered
you can
this.
leave. You can leave. Go ahead.
You're a bitch. Like oh god.
You're a fucking bitch, and I'm glad you're getting kicked out of here.
You wouldn't say shit like this to me if I was with my.
I'd say it to your face too, you stupid bitch. Get out of here.
Talk crazy to woman, but you don't got no guts to talk like this.
Get out of here.
You are a bunch of pussies with little dicks.
Little dicks as well. Fucking hell. Did you notice her lips? I can see that the GIRTHY truth has slapped her in the top lip already in the past, you know. And she turns so aggressive and rude, and when she has to logically explain her ridiculous sociopathic opinions, which I explained is a tactic, what they do to evade answering or blowing their own foot off. I mean, what was with that vocabulary as well? Woman. And she says it so vehemently, so prominently. She says woman like it's one entity. But look at the other woman and look at how they're looking at her, laughing at her and waving her off. And to add to her delusion and hypocrisy, what's the first thing that she does when she gets up? She shouts for her boyfriend, the strong, independent woman that don't need no man. Zero self-awareness. Now, can this woman change? No. Far too long in the tooth. The top lip has actually been physically altered by the GIRTHY truth. And here it is, devastating it again. She's a masochist. She's one of those people that derives a form of pleasure from pain. I'm afraid there's nothing left for our poor lady here. Moving on.
You're single. You've been. So what does that entail, though? There's no guys in the picture?
I date.
Is there a guy in the picture right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so she said that she's single, but she's got a roster, and there's a guy in the picture.
There's a guy in the picture. I'm a Sagittarius, so.
You know what? I'm sorry. I hate this shit. I really hate it. Why these women choose to blame their horoscopes or something. Like, I beat my husband up, but it's not my fault. I'm a Scorpio. Oh, I sleep around so much. It's not my. It's the Gemini. It's the other personality. It's not me. Shut up.
Word.
Wait, what does that mean?
That I'm outgoing and connect with people easily, and typically have a few people on the roster to, go on dates with.
So what she's saying is that women who are Sagittarius they have the proclivity to date multiple partners, to go out with numbers of people, because that's their astrological makeup. It's not their fault. It's the astrological makeup. It wasn't her fault.
I'm single, so if you ask me out and you're a millionaire, I'll say yes.
Okay, there it is. I'm single. If you ask me out and you're a millionaire, I'll say yes. She didn't give any other qualifications. She didn't say, I'm single, and if you're a nice guy, come and ask me out and I'll say yes. If you've got a good job, I'll say yes. Nothing, just money.
Oh, if you're a millionaire. If they're not a millionaire?
Then we can be friends.
Wow.
That part.
Well, there's a couple things there. There's the roster. There's the... So, let's just run this back a little bit. So, must be millionaire to date you.
At this point in my life, yes.
Now, when you say millionaire, do you mean net worth, or like they're earning $1 million a year?
I mean, you have to be a millionaire just to pretty much live in LA, so...
Really?
Multiple millionaires.
I mean...
Multiple millions.
Wait, what do you mean multiple?
Like own a house, basically.
So middle class?
Do you rent? Or
I rent, yes, I rent.
You wouldn't date a guy who rented?
No.
How much is your rent?
My rent's only $19.50.
And do you have housemates, or you have your own place?
No, just my place.
You wouldn't date a guy who's paying like $2,000 in rent?
No, if he doesn't own a house that's over $7 million, I won't date him.
What an absolute dickhead. I mean, really sorry I'm sorry to use such French, right? But what an absolute dickhead. She rents at $19.50 in LA. She says that you have to be a millionaire to live in LA, but then her own status contradicts her point. You have to have your own home and it be worth $7 million or more at this point of her life. Now let's just explore a little bit about where she is in her life.
And I'm doing fine.
Wait, what do you mean you're doing fine?
I'm going on dates.
Do you have something on? I feel like you have something on this. No, you're good? You don't got it? You got something? No. Nothing?
This girl over there, she seems proper based. She really does. Like, she's 33, she's married, she's a lovely lady. She's laughing her head off because she's just like, oh my God, are you for real? And she's looking at this woman wondering, is she actually for real? And then a sudden realization hit her and she just burst out laughing because she knows this woman is serious. This woman is just an absolute joke.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, okay, I'll ask a couple clarifying questions here. $7 million? Like, wait, a $7 million house?
Yeah.
Come on, you're messing with me, right? Or is this serious?
I mean, no, it's fine, but we would consider it. I just have, goals and expectations and boundaries, and this is what I strive for. And if I have to be single, until I find that guy, then that's what I'm willing to do.
Do you have kids?
No kids.
Do you want kids?
I don't care. Whatever's in God's plan.
Wait, so you...
She doesn't care. She doesn't have children. She doesn't care whether she's got them. Whatever's in God's plan. Notice the way she's relinquished a certain modicum of control into the hands of the Lord. But she will not relinquish the kind of guide that she gets to the hands of the Lord. For example, it might not be a millionaire. It might be just a nice everyday Joe. It might be a guy that earns even 90, 80,000 pounds, which puts him in a very, very, very high percentage of men. But no, that won't do. That won't do.
You're not have any leaning towards kids?
If somebody that I met one day and we fell in love wanted to have kids and it was right, then yes.
Yeah, but what do you want?
I don't know what I want.
Or are you just kind of
I'm loving life right now and definitely not sad that I don't have kids.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But do you want them in the future?
I'm not sure. I'm a really good aunt.
Okay. So if you met a guy and he told you, I am doing the no kids thing, I don't want to ever have kids, but he met all your other criteria for dating, you would date him long term?
Definitely.
Okay, so you'd be fine not having kids?
I think. At this point, yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's just a little tiny bit of a little look-see into the future. She says she thinks that she'll be fine without kids, but you know something? This woman, it's 36 or 37, 36, I believe, years of age. So she's probably not going to be able to have kids. Why I'm saying that is because factoring in the time it takes to find a mate that she wants to have children with, that's if it's not one of those I'll have his kids and get money off him kind of things, gold digging, baby trapping somebody. But I think on some level, deep inside, there's a little tiny bit of her that realizes that she's on the completely wrong path because she said, I think.
Okay. But then also, if you were to encounter a guy, met all your criteria, but he said, hey, I want to have kids within the next 2 years,
That would
also
work.
yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As long as he can pay for him.
Yeah. So let's go back to what's the bare minimum income for you to date a guy?
I mean, I'm not good at math. Okay, just gonna preface that. But I think I already told you, I just want somebody that's basically in the top 5%, 1%.
In terms of income?
I mean, a few $1 million a year would be great.
Wait, so you want a 1%er? In terms of income?
Sure. I mean, as long as he's really smart and saves his money, I guess it doesn't matter if he makes like $500,000 a year and then has a bunch of other investments, but
Yeah,
because eventually that'll equal $1 million, right?
eventually.
He's like, as long as we get there some way.
Oh God, look at her the way she says this stupid, ridiculous crap and looks at her piece of crap friend as well. I mean, God, maybe we'll explore her friend at a later date, but Jesus.
And the men you're currently dating, they're all millionaires or?
Sorry, let me just reiterate, 500,000 a year.
Whatever, making 500K minimum? Yes. Okay.
I don't think they make 500K minimum, but
Oh, they make less?
more.
More?
Yeah.
They make more. How old are they?
Well, they're men. I do know some rich young guys too. A 30-year-old had a $7 million house in Santa Monica, but his family had money, so he's lucky. But
Wait, how? So they're like in their late 30s, 40s, basically?
yeah, like 30, 40.
Okay. And what are the other criteria that you're looking for in a guy?
I want someone that's successful,
Sure.
motivated, influential.
What does that mean?
Like he's influencing me to be a better person, to grow and to strive to make money and be successful and, put myself out there.
Okay.
Good values.
All right.
Okay, let me just sum this up. Okay. She's 36 or 36, right? She doesn't have kids. Her ability to have children is dwindling with each hour that she walks the earth. She's probably not going to be able to have kids. She wants a guy that makes 500,000 a year minimum. He needs to have a home that values at $7 million. She wants a guy that is influential, important, successful, willing to invest in her, to build her up, to make her rich, stronger, and also influential in a bid to put herself out there. Do you understand the character of this woman? Do you know? I'll ask a question. Do you know what this woman will do if a millionaire makes her a millionaire and makes her powerful and influential enough for her to be put out there? Where do you think she's going to go?
Right. Minimum height.
Actually, I'm okay with the guy being short as long as he's rich.
So, and how tall are you?
I'm 5'4", so I'm not.
So if the guy's like shorter than you, doable?
I dated a guy that was shorter than me. Yeah.
Okay. So as long as he's taller than you, or even same.
I usually say I would prefer someone be at least a few inches taller than me so that I can still wear heels. But if the other things are there, I'm open.
Okay.
Do you know why she's not bothered about the man's height? 5'4". So if she gets a guy that's 5'5" or whatever, that is like him, drastically below the average, right? But she's not interested. Why? Because she's not interested in the guy anyway. She's interested in his money. She said it a million times. She's only interested in the money. That's why she's not interested in the height. At least women who want a guy that's tall, at least there's a modicum of concern about the fella. There's a modicum of awareness of the man that she's walking next to. Not with this broad.
Let's do the calculator. Let's pull up the calculator. By the way, guys, we're bumping the TTS back to normal. Just FYI. That's interesting. So to triangulate how many men fall into your criteria. So let's pull it up. Okay, so scroll down. All right, age range. Give us an age range of men you would date.
I'd say, ideally, 35 to 45.
Okay, can you do that? 30. Should we exclude other men who are married?
Yeah.
Okay, exclude married. Race?
So long.
I don't care.
Any race? Okay, scroll down. Minimum height?
I would say like
5'6".
5'4". Oh yeah.
Okay.
I said I would be willing to date someone shorter than me, but
5'4" is crazy.
Most men are not going to be.
height.
We'll just say 5'4". So her height or taller. Should we exclude obese men?
I've dated fat guys.
So include obese, not fat, obese.
To be honest, I have noticed that if they're not really physically fit or don't care about their health and their body, I don't find that attractive. So yeah, exclude obese. Sorry.
And then minimum.
Another testament for the money. I've dated fat guys. So yeah, she dates fat guys because, like I said, she doesn't care about the guy. She just cares about the money. She said it a million times. She would exclude obese, not because of the obesity, not because of the health hazards, simply because obesity to her insinuates that the guy isn't able to look after himself, ergo, by extension, isn't able to look after a lucrative business. How clearer can you say gold digger than this?
Exclude obese, minimum income, slam it all the way to the end. Scroll down a little bit so we can see it. Yeah, so yeah, it won't even let us make it higher. Let's find out. Let's see.
So excited.
Probability. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll back up. Okay, wait, hold on. So 0.099%. That's not even, you said you want a 1% guy. This is a 0.01% guy. Does that concern you at all?
We can round up, right?
He did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Or did I? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, 0.01. That's what.
It would have been 0.
It would be 1%, basically, right?
No, it'd be.
Yeah.
You can round up, right? That'll be 1%, wouldn't it? Right? What the hell?
0.1%.
Gotta up the age range.
So.
Yeah, no, that's not close to 1%.
Not even close.
You technically
Not even close.
shorter. So
Welcome back,
Hey.
or two.
Andrew. I don't know if you.
out here. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
So Andrew, I don't know if we're gonna recap you here, get you caught back up. I don't know if you heard. So.
Okay, Angie's for the reaction here is priceless. Priceless, honest to God, priceless. Here we go.
She's looking for a guy. She lives in LA. Looking for a guy who's a millionaire who makes minimum $500,000 a year. Preferably he's a millionaire, makes maybe $1 million a year.
Listen to catching up.
Look at the girls laughing as well.
Did you want Santa Claus to come down your chimney too? Is there anything else the men of the Los Angeles area can do for you?
I mean, we don't
He's
know her
bringing
life.
diamonds.
We don't know her life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, laugh all you want.
Yeah.
And look at this stupid idiot. Oh, I don't even want to get started on this black girl in a red dress. That's why you don't bring on these ghetto ratchet, stupid idiots on the show. They bring nothing. They're just absolutely disgusting. Get off. But literally, this is what we're trying to do. When you live in a delusion, you get worse. And what happens in the end is you end up having a serious mental breakdown, or you end up completely alone and a nasty, horrible piece of work because you're just bitter with everything that life has shown you. Simply because, and rightly so, because life has shown you the wrong thing. Life hasn't shown you what the real life world looks like. You're deluded. So you end up completely effed on every level.
It's okay.
They be laughing, but they be buying them girls.
It's fine.
Okay, well, let's go through. You know what? Maybe I'm totally off base here, right? You can prove me wrong real quick. I'm just going to ask you one question, right? And I already know the answer to it, but I'm hoping that you surprise me. You'll be the one who surprises me. What is it that you bring to the table for this 1%er? Besides a place for him to stick his penis, what do you bring besides a place for him to stick his penis to the table for this 1%er?
I give great massages.
Oh my God. I give great massages. So this man who earns in excess of 500,000 a year has a house that's 7 million. God knows how much savings in million also. A high value, very influential, important man with choices and options coming out of his bloody ears, right? What do you bring to the table for such a man? Bearing in mind, we've just done a delusion calculator and it's not even 1% of men, okay? It's 0.1%, okay? So this absolute diamond, this rarity, what do you bring to the table to this man? I can give good massages. What the
One guy actually quoted me as my healing touch. I have a healing touch. He can tell he was getting better just from the massage.
So, I mean, now he's a 1%er. He makes 500,000 plus a year. He can go to a professional masseuse whenever he feels like it. Have one come to his house and give him the happy ending on top of it if he wanted it.
True.
What besides the, his calves are going to feel really good after you're done rubbing them, are you bringing to the table?
Also, if I may jump in, you say you give massages. Are you have you been trained? Are you a massage therapist?
No, it's natural. I just got it. And
But do you think you're better than a massage therapist?
I didn't say I was better.
But so.
You guys asked me what I bring to the table.
Okay,
I
yeah,
bring
yeah.
massages,
Yeah, no,
okay?
that's fine.
You want what else? I cook, I clean, I am fit. I'll do everything. So.
Wait, what else do you bring to the table?
I said I cook, I clean, I'm fit. I would raise the kids.
Face the kid.
I mean, I'm a very generous lover, so
Very
what you need
basic
from me,
shit
let
that
me
every
know.
woman can do. Literally basic shit that any normal housewife does. Stays at least somewhat fit, right? Raises the kids and is somewhat decent to their man. And for this, in exchange for all of this, the thing that every other woman can bring to the table, you want a millionaire.
You got it. You figured it out. We didn't even need math.
Can I say something about this? I feel like guys with money, they don't really want girls that bring a lot to the table, financially speaking. So maybe it's probably best that she, can bring what you're
No, you're right. Listen, I agree with you.
because then they have a competition or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you that a millionaire doesn't care what your net worth is. He doesn't give a shit if you're a barista at Starbucks, right? But he has his pick from the hottest fucking women on the planet. The hottest women on the planet are going to be pursuing your multimillionaire.
You saying
And
she's
it's
not hot?
That's what I'm asking. I want to be like, dude, do you know what I look like?
The thing is
Oh my God, really? My God, the delusion. Oh. Do you know what? There's this thing called mirrors, right? And I know quite well that women use mirrors because they're in them every 5 minutes doing the makeup, but do they actually see their reflection? Or are they just looking at the makeup? How can this woman that could pass as a trans with flaps of skin for a chest, that I can see a rib cage. How the hell can she sit on a panel with, for example, these two girls here, number 1 and number 2? How can she look at these other girls and think, I'm well better than them? Because she must think that she's more pretty than them if she wants to get this kind of guy. And if this guy's got options, just look at the room that you're sitting in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 women are most certainly more attractive than you.
I'm looking at you right now.
I know you're looking at this app.
My God. And she, what is there to look at? A rib cage with flaps?
I mean, the other half better be made out of solid gold 24 karat fucking ingots, because what you're competing with in the Los Angeles area is some of the most beautiful women on planet Earth. And all you bring to the table is you're going to give them a nice massage. It's like, okay.
Crazy.
You could see where my extraordinary skepticism would come into play, where I might think perhaps this is moderately delusional. Not only are you going after 0.1% of the population, but out of all of the various competitive women that you'll have also going after 0.1% of the population, you think that you're going to outcompete them because you give really good massages. That doesn't sound remotely insane to you at all.
I'm not worried about it, boo-boo.
The GIRTHY truth.
And wait, remind me your age. You're 37, right?
36.
Oh.
You can't give them kids either.
Look at the face, girl.
Oh my God. Oh, where did you find her? Where did you find her, Brian? Oh, man. Woman, bring me a drink. Bring me a drink, woman. Oh, my God. How am I going to get through this show tonight? How am I going to get through this tonight? Okay. So to get this right, you're almost 40. You're almost 40 years old, right? The biological clock is pretty much clocked out at this point. And you want a multi-millionaire, 0.1%, in an area that has the most
tons of millionaires,
20-year-old women on planet Earth. Does that summarize your position?
Yes.
Oh, God. She can't
I
see.
mean, she did say she already has millionaires.
Oh, no,
yeah, I'm not honestly worried.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep laughing.
I mean, sure. I have a Pegasus in my backyard. I fly him around sometimes when I'm going to the corner store. I hop on the Pegasus. It's awesome. I have a little sword.
I take a McLaren.
I strap the sword on, I jump on the Pegasus,
Lambo.
and fly off to the store. You know how
Ferrari.
We don't know her life.
I mean, really, what the hell does her life got to do about it? Really? What the hell has her life got to do with anything? Okay, let's say, for example, she is a librarian. She's still 36, with no kids, a self-professed gold digger. She looks like a guy. She's got no body on her whatsoever. She's an adjustable 4, maybe a 4. With makeup on, she could possibly be a 5. If she's a librarian, how does that change? If she's a doctor, how does that change? If she's the nicest person in the world, how does that change? You don't know her life.
Yeah. You said that you have a roster?
I'm done talking about it.
Well, no, I mean,
It's okay. This guy's going to berate me. We're totally good.
Andrew is just...
And here's another problem that you get. This is why a lot of these modern day women are incommunicable. They're completely and totally deluded. You can't even talk sense because, to be honest with you, nobody's bullying her here, not in a negative way. What we're trying to do is we're trying to wake her up and come to reality, to not spend the rest of her life drinking boxed wine and stroking cats. If she wants to get that 0.099% of man, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. Look at the 2 girls who are sitting just behind her. Now, them 2 girls, right, blow absolute socks off this 36-year-old. Them 2 girls, they can have children. Them 2 girls, they've got no baggage. Them 2 girls, they're not gold diggers. They've got so much more to offer a millionaire, high-earning man than a woman who's a self-professed gold digger that can't have kids. Oh, what they're trying to do It's a time to shake her from a delusion, to try and make her join us in reality so she could get herself a guy that's on her level. She's renting for $19.50 a month, so if she finds a guy that's also renting for $2,500, then that's a guy that's on her level. They're going to have much more in common. They're going to be able to be together a lot better. A millionaire is not going to be interested in you.
He's clearly
What do you mean?
got it
I
all
haven't
figured
berated
out.
you at all.
Yeah,
Hang on. What did I?
And this is the problem as well. They seem to think that when you're trying to communicate with them, when you're trying to give them advice, that you're insulting them, and then you'll throw the victim card, and then that's generally the end of the discussion. And you've got idiots like this shithead here in the red dress that are going to push her deeper into her delusion. And I mean, obviously, she's completely screwed. We'll get into that another time, maybe. But we're trying to actually help this person here, okay? We're trying to shake them free and make them join reality, so she has a viable chance for the future. But you can't talk to them.
I said that was berating to you.
I mean, you're putting me down,
Because
you're
I'm
laughing in my
skeptical
face,
that-
and you're acting like I'm crazy. You said I was
I'm
delusional.
sorry, but
Isn't everyone pretty much delusional? You got to manifest
No,
what you
I
want.
don't think everybody's pretty much delusional. I think that, generally speaking,
certain
most rational agents,
What
if they
time was
heard
it?
this,
My watch died.
at nearly 40 years old, I want a 0.1% guy in this population where there's a sea of beautiful women that he has to choose from. Okay, and what I'm going to bring to the table is that I'll have sex with him and give him a massage. Who wouldn't think that that was delusional? That's not berating you. That's just me being honest with you.
I have a question for you. Do you think, like...
Here, you know what? I'll make you feel. I'll lie to you. Oh, you know what? Oh, you go, girl. Get yourself that 1% doesn't exist unicorn. I'm sure you can do it. Excellent. You know, from now on, the whole show, I'll just lie to you.
Haters gonna hate, but I just love, love, love. In the words of Teresa Giudice.
We see it all the time.
Like, what?
Exactly.
Do you
No, you don't see it all the time. No, you don't see it all the time. There's two things that you see. It's a millionaire, high-earning man with a woman on his arm that looks hot. Hot. Or, if the woman on his arm doesn't look that hot, then what you'll find is them two have met each other back in the day, and they've grew together, they've bonded together, they're there going through life together like a beautiful, loving couple. That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing millionaires picking 40-year-old women out of the crowd when they can get anything from a 25-year-old and upwards. It's not happening. You don't see it. Stop lying.
She says she only dates people with money, so she's putting herself in a position to only come in contact with those type of men.
Yeah, well, I mean,
for having
we
my
have a
back,
name.
girl.
We have a name for that. There's a popular name for that. It's called a gold digger. And you know what type of woman rich men stay the fuck away from? Give me a hint. If any of you know the answer to this question, raise your hand. What type of woman does a rich man stay away from? If you know the answer, raise your hand. I want to hear. Anyone? None of you know the answer? Okay, yeah, what's the answer? What type?
A gold digger.
A gold digger, a gold digger. A rich man.
And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Because this girl answered the question that he'd already given the answer to beforehand, none of them wanted to throw their hands up because, like I said in previous podcasts, hive-minded, faux sisterhood. But this girl's answered the question. That was obviously the right answer. And she gets absolutely ripped into by that horrible thing in the red dress. But it makes no difference because at the end of the day, if a bacteria comes over to you and starts shouting at you, you're not exactly arsed, are you?
More than anything else avoids a gold digger. And the reason they do is because they want to be loved for who they are, not for their money, right? So now we just reduce the pool even more.
Yeah, but some guys ain't that bright. You see plenty like basketball players get random whores pregnant and stuff. Like you see it every day.
They ain't marrying them. They're taking them back to their hotel room. They're taking them back to their hotel room.
Then they look
and they're running the train on them is what they're doing. They're not marrying these chicks.
No, but they do still have to cough up $70,000 a month or something like that. She just said she wants somebody rich. I don't know if she even wants to get married.
Okay, so what she's basically said there is you see it all the time. You see girls go out with NBA players, basketball players, and you see them getting babies and getting 70 grand off them a month or blah, blah, blah. So she's put that out there as a viable option, okay? What she's saying is people can do that if they want to. And then look how quickly she backpedals.
So she wants to baby trap him? What?
She didn't
Well,
say
you
that.
said I can't have kids. That was your quote, so I guess that's not
Yeah,
happening.
you did say she couldn't have kids, so how is she baby trapping when you just put like...
That's what you said. You said.
I never said that.
She couldn't go get
See,
knocked
you
up. She
can't
could go
really-
get knocked up.
I really applaud Andrew to talk to these people, because these people, there's no intellect. There's like fucking 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Honest to God, absolutely ridiculous.
Say that. I said that's what they do.
$70,000 a month.
I mean, I guess if you want to twist it for views.
No, what? How did I twist it? That's what you said.
No, you twist my words.
You said women could get with a basketball player.
You said you're speaking about marriage. She never once said marriage. She only said she wants to date people in million range, and that's all she's saying. If she can get someone like that, she deals with men like that who take care of her now. What's
Well, that's fair. I guess I should ask that. Are you planning on getting married to this 0.1%?
What, like I always said, like whatever's meant to be will be.
Because she just wants his money.
Que sera, sera, huh?
Good job.
Whatever will be, will be. The thing is that here's what won't be. What won't be is that you're going to get a diamond ring from a 0.1%er. In fact, I will shut my YouTube channel down.
The GIRTHY truth just goes in again.
Diamond ring.
See, that's the thing about the GIRTHY truth, man. It just comes for you, right? And goes inside of you, right? And you're stunned and everything else. But other people who are also deluded feel the effect of it as well, because nobody's even really talking to this thing in the red dress. They're talking to the woman in the pink, okay? Because she's the one who's like got these outlandish, outrageous bloody expectations, right? But the girl in the red dress, she can feel the GIRTHY truth, and she's trying to jump on its back and pull it off. But it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
From a 1%er and walk down the aisle.
You go get it. You go get it. Have you dated rich already? Like you've had a man who had money?
Yes.
Yes. So if someone already made her a girlfriend, he considered her to be somebody he could take to his family. Anything.
Did you dump him or did he dump you?
We're still dating.
They're still.
Oh, you're still
they're
dating.
still dating.
He's talking.
Okay. This is just going on to us. This is, like I said, a new metric of delusion. She's dating someone who's got money and they're still dating. Previously, she said that there are a few guys on her roster that she's sleeping with. And she doesn't understand or think about why the guy that she's dating hasn't made it more serious. Could it be because he's aware that she's dating other people, because it's no secret now, and he is just dating her because it's a warm place to put his penis? This is exactly what thick people do. They can't argue, so they start insulting you. Absolutely ridiculous. It's funny because that GIRTHY truth has smashed that girl, woman, guy in the pink. And she's just on the ropes. She's reeling. She can't see. She's seeing double and everything else. She can't see a thing. That GIRTHY truth, man. What? Okay, so we're not focusing on this girl, right? But then this girl says something really stupid. Wow, bro, why the hell would anyone go on a date with Brian when it'll just be like an interview? Well, it's like, are you so... there's no awareness here. I mean, when you go out with someone, if you go on a date with someone, that's exactly what you're doing. You're basically conducting an interview in an intimate environment. You're ascertaining whether they're going to be a long-term or short-term viable mate or partner for you. This is exactly what you're doing. So Brian's trying to explain to her that this is not how I would be on a date. Being in the podcast and talking to multiple girls is going to be different to an intimate setting. But it's the reaction from the person with the pink top that I want to call your attention to.
You'll ask questions like, how many people have you slept with? Are you willing to fold my laundry? Are you willing to stir my noodles? Like,
right. You said it. So in your notes, you said, like, bro, why would anyone want to sleep with Brian right away when his first date's like an interview? Probably, hey, I'm Brian. Are you okay with the fact that we won't get married? How do you feel about stirring my noodles and folding my laundry? What's your body count? Are you willing to bow? If I was a chaste woman on a date with Brian, I wouldn't think, whoa, this dude who just interviewed me is so great. Now I'm going to immediately give up my chastity.
Based.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what you said.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a couple things here. So I would say that the way I'm conducting myself in the midst of an adversarial podcast is going to be very different than how I'm conducting myself one-on-one.
Yeah, and I thought about that
in a
too.
romantic, intimate setting.
You didn't think about that. You
So,
wouldn't have said it, would
you know, for example, like you might, I mean, the way somebody might conduct themselves where there's an expectation that you're having adversarial conversations is not how they're going to be conducting themselves when they're dating somebody.
We could do a mock date if you want.
You're in a relationship. Why would you say that?
For podcasts, for views.
A mock.
Do you see how little respect that they've got for men? She's got a boyfriend and she's proposing a mock date. What the hell's going on with the world?
But actually, even if I grant to you that I do take on a bit of a interviewing capacity with, you know, I know she's laughing over here. By the way, I saw this chick's fucking Instagram stories. Absolute, like, 37-year-old still going to fucking mansion parties dressed like a fucking strumpet. So, I mean, you're one to fucking talk over here. So
Look at the Kayla number one again. Honest to God, she's just watching the girthy truth just completely obliterate this woman time and time and time and time again. Oh my God. This is priceless.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been fucking chuckling out of your mouth the entire fucking night of me. So
Thanks for stalking me.
how is
You
it
didn't look before
stalking?
the podcast, so that must have just happened.
Yeah, I was reposting people's stories, lady. Okay.
God, they've always got to try and make it into something kind of serious, isn't it? That absolute feminine bullshit. Honest to God. Honest to God. The man's got a podcast. You send him messages by Instagram and he's not allowed to look at the pictures because he's stalking you? What the...
So, what would actually be wrong if I were to ask women questions before agreeing to meet with them?
I think that's fine, but it kind of seems like maybe those questions wouldn't be super organic. Like on the first to third date, I would assume you'd ask that later on.
Yeah, like how do you put it into
Oh,
conversation?
is this a rage
my
quit?
God, look at
Rage
that.
quit over
Oh
here?
my God.
I'm not angry. I'm just embarrassed.
Are you quitting?
Oh my God.
It's a quit?
I think it's
that's
because we
terrible.
didn't know when we got invited that it would be like mean people coming rude. I personally don't care.
So there you have it. There's what happens. You tell people the truth, they malfunction. Can this woman change? No. Even though she's just felt shame and embarrassment just then, which is a good sign, which tells her that her mind and body is telling her that she's conducting herself in some kind of a negative way, and she should be ashamed. But no, not when you got the likes of this red harpy here, not when you got the likes of most of the friends that she's got in her group pushing her forward, going out to these degenerate parties with her, telling her that she's doing the right thing. She's not going to change. This woman's destined for boxed wine and cats. So, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to Podcast Reactions. We chose whatever podcast this week, and I think it was quite an eye-opener to show what happens when the girthy truth enters a person. We've seen what happens when a person's held down and the girthy truth assaults them. Now, I understand that in some cases it seemed pitiful. In some cases, it pulls on your heartstrings. It pulled on mine. But all in all, it's a net positive. It's good for them. Because even if it's just for a month, they can come out of their delusion, it increases their chances of living a more productive life and meeting a more viable partner, to know exactly where they are. You can't find yourself out of a bad situation if you don't know where you are. So with that being said, if you liked what you saw today, please like, comment and subscribe. And every week I'll be bringing you more interesting topics and peeks into society. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Podcast Reactions. Thank you.